felicidad. Y mi amor nunca se raja, y mi amor nunca jamás te va a fallar. Jamás. ¿Dónde estás, bendita? ¿En dónde te has metido? Abre un poco el corazón, deja amarte, corazón. Ven y sácame de ese mar. Estoy clavado, estoy herido, estoy en un bar, desesperado, en el olvido, amor. Estoy ahogado en un bar, muy desesperado, muy en el olvido. Estoy ahogado en un bar. Déjate querer, amor. Quiero ser tu todo y tu corazón. Ven a rescatarme, amor. Yo quiero ser tu sol, yo quiero ser tu mar. All right. Whoa, oh, 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 yo. Yeah. Aquí me tienes bien clavado, soltando las penas en un bar, brindando por su amor. Aquí me tienes bien borracho, bebiendo tequila para olvidar todo. No es justo, amor. Muy desesperado, muy en el oído. Dice, oh, no, 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 no. Estoy ahogado en un mar. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias. We're the rock, Latin rock band Maná. Gracias.
Please welcome Jennifer Lopez. Please welcome Jennifer Lopez.
Hello, everybody. Yes. Buenas noches, Las Vegas. Now, you guys know I'm no stranger to this town. No, I've been on stage here many, many times. Too many times to count. But this is the most important stage I've ever been on. And let me tell you, it has never felt the way it does tonight. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you. The energy in here is just electric. Can you guys feel it? Can you feel it? It's amazing. The election is just 5 days away, and there's so much at stake. The choices facing America now are monumental. And you guys have made this place a city where dreams come true, where people from all walks of life have planted a flag in hopes of creating a better future for themselves and their families. And you are the ones who are going to send the message that Nevada is Harris country. Kamala Harris is running for the people who dream, for the parents working overtime, the kids studying by streetlight, the teenagers practicing in the basement. She's the only candidate that wants to raise the minimum wage and make college more affordable, keep the Department of Education, and even put a teacher in the vice president's job. That's right. On the other hand, her opponent wants to kill the Affordable Care Act and eliminate the Department of Education. Right now, we are on the brink of an election that demands a choice between backwards and forwards, a choice between the past and the future, a choice between divided and united. And if you are anything like me and you value the idea that in this country, any child from any background can not only work their ass off to bring their dreams to life and be able to do so with dignity and respect for their neighbors, then it isn't much of a choice at all. Whether you're from Castle Hill in the Bronx, yes, baby, or Sunrise Manor in East Las Vegas. We all want a world where our kids feel safe and free and valued by their president, because whoever leads this country matters. That's how we make the greatest America. Because I remember growing up thinking my president cared about me, cared about my parents, cared about my neighbors and my community. Not just some Americans, but all Americans. I believe that our kids and this wonderfully progressive, innovative, and inclusive young generation deserve that too. And it is in our hands. It's our responsibility to provide that for them. You know, when I started in TV and film, I could get roles playing the maid or the loudmouth Latina. But I knew I had more to offer. And I think there are a lot of people in this country who feel the same way, who know that they are capable of more. And we all just want a chance to prove it. And elections are about choosing leaders who support that, not one who stands in the way. Kamala Harris gets it. Raised by a hardworking mother in Oakland, California, working long hours, strict budget, made rent every month until they could buy a home, surrounded by a community of firefighters and teachers, nurses, construction workers, small business owners. I don't know, that sounds a lot like my upbringing, and probably many of yours. Kamala Harris gets it. I know as President of the United States, Kamala will fight for our freedom, the freedom of immigrants and immigrant families to chase the American dream, the freedom of workers to afford housing, education, food, and life's essentials, and the freedom of women to choose what we do with our bodies. I believe in the power of women. Ladies, where are my ladies at? Let me hear you. Yes. I believe that women have the power to make the difference in this election. I believe in the power of Latinos. Where are my Latinos at? I believe in the power of our community. I believe in the power of all our votes. I believe that together we are the difference in this election. I know that together we are the difference in this election. Kamala Harris chose a career in law to fight for middle-class families like her own. From her start as a courtroom prosecutor to becoming the district attorney, then California's attorney general, then a U.S. senator, and now as vice president, she has only ever had one client, you, the people. And in each of those roles, she took on scammers who ripped off their customers, predators who abused women, and cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. There is no candidate in the history of the presidency that is more qualified, and there is no job that Kamala Harris can't do. Kamala Harris gets it. And that's what her policies are about. She will put forward an actual plan to make housing more affordable, to cut taxes for middle-class families, to help small businesses get a foothold, to expand the child tax credit, to fight inflation by cracking down on grocery monopolies, to take on those who rip off consumers. And what's that all about at the end of the day? It's about helping you get ahead. It's about you, and you, and you, and you, and you. It's about us, all of us. No matter what we look like, who we love, or who we worship, or where we're from. Her opponent, on the other hand, doesn't see it that way. He has consistently worked to divide us. At Madison Square Garden, he reminded us who he really is and how he really feels. It wasn't just Puerto Ricans that were offended that day, okay? It was every Latino in this country. It was humanity and anyone of decent character. Look, I'm a lover. You guys know that about me. I'm a lover. I am not a fighter. I am not here to trash anyone or bring them down. I know what that can feel like, and I wouldn't do it to my worst enemy, or even when facing the biggest adversary I think America has internally ever had. But over Kamala Harris's entire career, she has proven to us who she is. She has shown up for us every day, for the people, and it's time for us to show up for her. It's time for us to all answer presente. I am an American woman. I am the daughter of Guadalupe Rodriguez and David Lopez, a proud daughter and son of Puerto Rico. am Puerto Rican. Soy Boricua, carajo. And yes, I was born here, and we are Americans. I am a mother. I am a mother. I am a sister. I am an actor and an entertainer, and I like Hollywood endings. I like when the good guy, or in this case, the good girl wins. And with an understanding of our past and a faith in our future, I will be casting my ballot for Kamala Harris for President of the United States proudly. Proudly. You can't even spell American without Rican. This is our country too, and we must exercise our right to vote on November 5th. Please. And remember, somos una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos. Let's get loud! Let's get loud! I promised myself I wouldn't get emotional, but you know what? You know what? We should be emotional. We should be upset. We should be scared and outraged. We should. Our pain matters. We matter. You matter. Your voice and your vote matters. And look, don't be afraid to make people around you uncomfortable. Invite people around you to be the change, to go out there and vote. Nobody likes having tough conversations or talking about politics, but trust me, I've been in some of these rooms. I see the way power works in this country. They love it when you do nothing, okay? A non-vote is an agreement. It just makes it easier for them to do whatever they want, whatever serves them. And this election is about your life. It's about you and me and my kids and your kids. Don't make it easy. Make them pay attention to you. That's your power. That's your power. Your vote is your power. Make a plan to vote early, okay? If you have a mail ballot, sign the envelope, return it to any drop box in your county. It is too late to put it in the mail, okay? Tomorrow, Friday, November 1st, is the last day to vote early in person. If you can't vote early, make a plan to vote on Election Day, November 5th. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Find a vote center or ballot drop box near you at willvote.com/NV. I will vote. I'm sorry. I will vote. You are absolutely right. I'm sorry, I got carried away. Let's do this, Las Vegas! I am so proud of all of you for showing up today. Thank you so much. And it is my deep honor to introduce a woman who has the opportunity in just a few days to make history. The next President of the United States, Kamala Harris. Happy Nevada Day, everybody. Happy Nevada Day. It is good to be back. Hello, Nevada. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and happy Diwali to everyone celebrating. So listen, Las Vegas, are we ready to do this? Are we ready to vote? Are we ready to win? All right, it is good to be back and to be with so many incredible leaders.
including, of course, and for anybody who has a seat, please do feel like sitting. Sí se puede. I want to thank Senator Jackie Rosen, who we must reelect to the United States Senate. And while we're at it, let's reelect Representatives Horsford, Titus, and Lee. Can we please applaud Mana? We also have my dear husband, the second gentleman, with us this evening. And we are joined by tribal leaders from across the country here for the National Conference of American Indians. And I have to say, I strongly believe that the relationship between tribal nations and the United States is sacred, and that we must honor tribal sovereignty always and embrace our trust and treaty obligations and ensure tribal self-determination. And as president, I will defend these principles always. All right, so Nevada tomorrow, Friday, November 1st, is the last day to vote early in person. And Nevada, if you are voting by mail, please do not wait. Sign the envelope and return your ballot as soon as possible. Your ballot must be returned to a drop box or postmarked by Election Day next Tuesday, November 5th. Go to iwillvote.com, and to all the leaders here, please help get the word out. And we need you to vote Nevada, because we have just 5 days left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime. And we have work to do. But we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win. 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 And we will win. We will win, because here's what I believe. When you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And we all know we have an opportunity in this election to turn the page on a decade of Donald Trump trying to keep us divided and afraid of each other. We're done with that. We're done. We're exhausted with it. And we know that is who he is. That is who he is. But Las Vegas, that is not who we are. That is not who we are. And it is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States. And Nevada, you know me. I'm not afraid of tough fights. For decades as a prosecutor and the top law enforcement officer of our biggest state, the first cousin of Nevada, I won fights against the big banks that ripped off homeowners. I won fights against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students, against predators who abused women and children. I won fights against cartels that trafficked in guns and drugs and human beings. And I pledge to you, if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf as president, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way. And look, we all know who Donald Trump is. This is not someone who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is increasingly unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and is out for unchecked power. And look, in less than 90 days, it's either going to be him or me in the Oval Office. And this is part of what we're fighting for, because we have the image of what it could be. It won't be, but what it could be if he was elected. If he were reelected on day one, Donald Trump would walk into that office with an enemies list. When I am elected, I will walk in with a to-do list on behalf of you. On behalf of you. And at the top of my list is bringing down the cost of your living. That will be my focus every single day as president. I will give a middle-class tax cut to over 100 million Americans. I will enact the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on groceries. I will make housing more affordable by building more homes and by taking on those corporate landlords who unfairly buy up all those properties and then jack up your rent. And we will fight for working families by raising the minimum wage and eliminating taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers. And if you are caring for an elderly parent, you know, I took care of my mother when she was sick. If you are taking care of an elderly parent, this is personal for me. My plan will cover the cost of home care for your elder parent under Medicare, so you don't have to spend down your savings in order to qualify for Medicaid. So seniors can get the help and care they need to stay in their homes. And this is just a matter of dignity. Dignity. Dignity is why I will lower the cost of child care, because we know families are struggling right now, and folks just need a little bit to not just be able to get by, but get ahead. It's about dignity, and it's about values that you bring to your position of leadership. And as far as I'm concerned, we're done with the idea that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, when we know the real measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. We will cut taxes for small businesses. Do I see any small business owners in the house? I love our small businesses. You all are part of the backbone of America's economy. We will lower health care costs, because here's the value I bring to that. I believe health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. On the other hand, Donald Trump's answer to the financial pressures you face is the same as it was last time. Another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and big corporations. And this time, he will pay for it with a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported. Think about that. Clothes, food, toys, cell phones. A Trump sales tax, the economists say, would cost the average family an extra $4,000 a year. And on top of that, Donald Trump still is trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. And he has a powerful friend in Congress, the Speaker of the House, who recently said there will be, quote, no Obamacare if Trump wins, which would have the effect, if they were to win, to put millions of Americans off of their health insurance, to throw millions of Americans off of their health insurance, to take us back to that time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember what that was? Well, we are not going back. We're 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 not going back. And we are not going back because ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom, like the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. And we all remember how we got here. When Donald Trump was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. They did as he intended, and now in America, 1 in 3 women lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions even for rape and incest, which is immoral. And Donald Trump been done. Did anybody hear what he just said yesterday? He said, I mean, come on, right? So he said that he will do what he wants, now I'm about to quote, whether the women like it or not. This is the same person who said that women should be punished for their choices. He simply, well, I hear you, but you know what? You know what? The courts are going to handle that. The courts will handle that. We'll handle November. How about that? We'll handle November. Because, see, we know the man simply does not respect the freedom of women or the intelligence of women to be able to make decisions about their own lives. And we know if he were elected, he would ban abortion nationwide, restrict access to birth control, put IVF treatments at risk, and force states, listen to this, to monitor women's pregnancies. Don't believe me? Look at, just Google Project 2025, which I cannot believe they put in writing. And I love you back. I love you back. I love you back. And on this topic, I know everyone here knows and agrees that one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government shouldn't be telling her what to do. Not the government and not Donald Trump. So Nevada, to make your right heard and to protect your right to make your own health care decisions, I would also recommend you vote yes on question 6. And make sure you vote up and down the ballot to truly protect your rights. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. I will proudly sign it into law. So Nevada, on that point, I am here to ask for your vote. I am here to ask for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. And here is my pledge to you. As president, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I pledge to not try to score political points, but to make progress in your lives and in our country. I pledge to listen to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make. I pledge to listen to experts. I pledge to listen to people who disagree with me because, you see, unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe that people who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at the table. That's what real leadership looks like. And I pledge to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans. And now, with 5 days left in this campaign, my opponent is also making a closing argument to America. I don't know if you may have seen, I talked in Washington, D.C. the other day. You know, he likes to compare crowd sizes. I had 100,000 people there. But listen to what he's saying as his closing argument. It's all about hate and division. Jennifer talked about it. It's all about hate and division. And it's not just what he says. It's what he will do. Because if elected, you can be sure he will bring back family separation policies, only on a much greater scale than the last time. We can imagine what he will do with unchecked power, because recall that recently the United States Supreme Court, now this is what's different from 2016 and 2020, the court said essentially that he will be immune no matter what he does in the White House. And so for all the reasons we know, it is time to turn the page on Donald Trump. Let's turn the page. And it all comes down to this. You all have taken time out of your busy lives to be here tonight, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for that. And I know that one of the biggest reasons we are all here together tonight is because we love our country. We love our country, and we know when you love something, you fight for it. When you love something, you fight for it. And I do, and I love you, and yes. And here's the thing. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism, of our expression of our love for our country, to then fight for the ideals of our country and to fight to realize the promise of America. And I have always believed in our nation's promise because I have lived it. You know, I grew up a child of the civil rights movement. My parents would take me to the marches when I was in a stroller, where people from all walks of life came together to fight for freedom and for opportunity. You know, growing up, I saw how hard my mother worked to raise her daughters and give us the same chances our country gave her. And I was blessed to have family by blood and family by love who instilled in me the values of community, of compassion, and faith. And I've spent my life fighting for people who have been hurt and who have been counted out, but who never stopped believing in what our country can do and what is possible. I have lived the promise of America. And today, I see the promise of America in everyone here tonight. Everyone here tonight. In all of us. Sí se puede. I see the promise of America. And I see the promise of America in the fathers and mothers who work hard every day for your children's future. I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom and the men who support them. I see it in Republicans who have never voted for a Democrat before, but have put the Constitution of the United States before party. And I see the promise of America in all the young leaders who are here and are voting for the first time. Oh, I love Gen Z. I love you guys. I love you guys. And here's what I love about our young leaders. You guys are rightly impatient. You are rightly impatient for change. You, our young leaders who are determined to live free from gun violence, to take on the climate crisis, you intend to shape the world you inherit. I love that about you, because for you, none of these issues is theoretical. It's not political. This is your lived experience. And I see you. And I see your power. And I'm so proud of you. And I want everyone here, let's applaud our first-time voters. First-time voters and our young leaders. Let's applaud them, our young leaders. And I know the people of Nevada, you are battle-born and ready for the hard work ahead. So we got 5 days to get this done. 5 days. And no one can sit on the sidelines. So let's spend the next 5 days so that when we look back on these days, we will have no regrets that we did everything we could, that we knocked on doors, that we texted and we called folks. We reached out to family and friends and classmates and neighbors and coworkers. And as we do, I have another request of you. In these next days, let us please be intentional about building community. Let us please, these years, this Trump era, this time of trying to have people point their fingers at each other, the division, the hate, the trying to make people feel alone, when we all know we all have so much more in common than what separates us. So let's be intentional in building community. Let's be intentional in building coalitions. And let us remember, your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. It's your power. Don't ever let anybody take your power from you. So Nevada, today I then ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.